let's just set this up. So me and Tom have kind of been thinking about this, putting together a list. 10 most prestigious car races, emphasis on car, auto races in the world. Um, in our opinion, in our general opinion, we ranked them in the top 10 according to our top 10 or what races we thought were the top 10 races um, in car races in the world. I based mine purely off of difficulty to win, maybe prestige, pageantry, how long has it been ran? If I was a racing driver, which one would I want to win? That's how I set my top 10. Uh,
Hey everybody, this is Thomas from the Dega Boys channel reminding you to hit the like button if you're enjoying what you're watching. If you want to see more great content like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon as well to be notified of any future videos coming out. Thanks for watching, now back to the video.
so, with that being said, we did leave out Dakar, like Isle of the Man, uh, Rally, Monte Carlo, like stuff that we don't necessarily cover here on this channel, rally and motorcycle style racing. So keep that in mind. I'll go over my list, Tom, and then I'll let you run through yours. So I put at the top Indy 500. This is the one race a year that when I watch it, I just get chills. It's just the pageantry, the build up, when they do the songs and the introduction and everything at the beginning with the trumpet and the playing of the Indiana's song and everything that goes with that. The celebration at the end of the kissing of the bricks and then the wreath and then the milk. Like it's just the whole thing. The progression of the race, the strategies play out. The people that are good at the beginning that go and become good at the end. I mean, there's not much more I need to say about the Indy 500. It's Indy 500. Next, I put the 24-hour Le Mans. Just because this is the ultimate test of motorsports in the world, in my opinion. It's very, very difficult to win. All of the best manufacturers, best drivers, best teams, best names in motorsports show up to run this race and try to win it. And the prestige that it holds is there. Next, I was going to put Monaco, but I'm going to save that for the next one. I'm going to put Bathurst at number 3. Bathurst 1000. This track is absolutely one of the most difficult tracks in the world. I mean, it is absolutely insane. Some of the names that have won this race are incredible. 2 drivers run in this race, like endurance races. It's not like a typical supercar race. So I think it just holds, just off a difficulty value alone, holds a good spot here. Fourth, I'm going to go with Monaco. Just because it's one of the oldest races ran. 1929 was the inaugural one. So we're closing in on 100 years here soon at the end of this decade. Predates Formula One. The badges, the pageantry, the backdrop, everything that goes with it just makes it a great race. Fifth, I'll put Daytona 500 just for the NASCAR homers. It is the great American race. It's the most viewed race. I mean, it's recognizable as prestigious in its own right. Next, I'm putting the 24 Hours of Nürburgring. It's just a difficult track. 24 hours around there. A lot of the great names have won this race. It's very, very difficult track, and that's why it's going to reach this point on my list. I put the big three 24-hour races on my list, and this had to find a spot here. I was splitting hairs with this and my next one, which is the Rolex 24. I just think that they both hold the same value in my eyes, but I have to give the Nürburgring the nod over Rolex just because of the difficulty, of course, and Rolex is ran at Daytona. It's just, I don't feel like it has the prestige there that the Nürburgring has. And then also I'm going to put Pikes Peak Hill Climb on here as well. Personally, just because I think this race is just freaking awesome. I think if anybody is to ever set a fast time there or was able to climb that hill and set a record, I mean, that's just a crazy achievement. And personally, I think this would be an absolute thrill and a rush to do myself. Like, this is something that I would want to do. Like, I think it's just sick. So that's why I made my list at 8. Also, I had to slide in the Southern 500 here just because it is the most difficult oval in the world. I don't care what anybody else says. I don't care what other track you guys have in mind. This is the most difficult oval here. Nobody has ever lucked into a Southern 500 win. Nobody has ever backed into one. There's never been a fluke Southern 500 winner ever. So it's definitely got to make my list. And then I have to put the most prestigious dirt race on here, right? The Chili Bowl. I mean, you've got 300-400 people show up to this event every year. The odds of winning it are just stacked against you. You've seen so many of the greats either win, fail trying to win, not qualify in, struggle, find successes. So the highs and the lows that this whole week has to offer. And it is the most prestigious dirt race in the world. And it's a fact. And I mean, the different types of drivers that attempt to run this, the greats of motorsports, have all thrown their hat at a ring to try this event. So I think it holds value on my top 10 list. Right there at the bottom. 10. All right, Tom.
All right, I want to preface this by saying I truly believe that all of the races listed are extremely prestigious, extremely hard to win, especially with the competition that we have nowadays, and that really any variation is right. It's really hard to put these in a top 10 tier, but I'm going to try my best. So, and you're going to see a lot of similarities between Jay and I, just because it's the truth. So,
it is.
All right. So the first one, it's got to be the Indy 500. This thing's been running since 1911. Right out of World War I. Going into some crazy historical events like the 1920s, the Great Depression, World War II, going through all of the Cold War crap that happened, and it's still going on today. I mean, that is just an insane timeline. I mean, we're what, 113 now? This year will be 113th running of it, with an asterisk because we did miss a year or something like that, 1 or 2 years, I can't remember, but whatever. It's insane. All right. Not only that, you have 32 cars on track, open wheel cars on an oval going 230 miles an hour, or 232 qualifying, 226 average, 225 average race pace, something like that, without draft. Insane. You got to have some major cojones to do that. Really. I ran a couple years at the Indy 500, and I can just remember when the cars came down the front stretch 3 wide, hitting the green flag. It was a rush of emotion. You could literally feel the historical value of the place just glow up. I mean, it was just it's a feeling that I've never felt before. You have to be there. And I may be a little biased because I did get to experience it, but I think there's a lot of different variables that goes into it. I just think it's number one. Number two, definitely the 24 Hours of Le Mans. I mean, we're talking about the pioneer of endurance racing with the 24 Hours of Le Mans. You got that on your resume as a winner. You can do a lot. You could go anywhere and have that on your resume, and people will do double takes because you won that race. It's just like I said, it's the pioneer. It's a landmark event that happens every year, obviously, but I mean, it's just another one of those extremely prestigious races. My third on the list is Monaco. Just for the difficulty and really the prestige behind it too. I mean, it's been on the calendar since the original running of Formula One, when we were still looking at closed wheels cars in Formula One. So extremely difficult to win, extremely tight race course. Everything's got to go right to win that race. Everything. I mean, even from the sip of milk that you take in the morning before the race, it's got to go right. So that's number 3 for me. Number 4, I'll go into a little bit of circle track here because same year, same time frame as Monaco, Daytona 500. We're talking about the premier stock car oval race in the world. You got the Daytona 500 win on your resume, as well as the others. Again, people are going to take double takes on your resume.
anything with a stock car, they'll probably give you a chance. Number 5, the 24 Hours of Daytona. I think that it's a extremely important, prestigious race. I think that a rival race to the 24 Hours of Le Mans is not only one necessary, but two healthy competition. We see drivers from all over the world come in and want to win this race. I mean, to me, the competition is either as stiff or more stiff than the 24 Hours of Le Mans. I think it's a premier sports car race. It's a premier prototype race. I think that it's definitely one to have on your resume. Again, I feel like somebody would double take if you had this on your resume as a win. Number 6, I really battled hard with the Daytona 500 and this race. And honestly, if I could time for 5th, I would, and I would just skip 6th and go to 7th. But the Bathurst 1000, like Jay was saying, endurance race, sprint race, 2 drivers, kind of like, what the heck is going on here? But prestigious. Everybody who has ever won a race there has been a big name driver. That is the value of the Bathurst 1000. I think that, like I said, it was such a hard pick, but nonetheless, we're talking big, fat, heavy race cars on an extremely tight track on windy corners through a mountain. On top of a mountain, going up the mountain, coming down the mountain, doing some crazy, weird corners at the bottom of the mountain, and then going right back up it. Crazy. The next 2 is Formula 1 related. I'm going to put Monza at P7 and then Spa at P8. Mainly just because it's Monza. It's Spa. I mean, if you were at Monza, you won that race. You beat the Tifosi. If you were with Ferrari, you won a race for Tifosi. That's the greatest thing in the world that you can get. Honestly, it's a win-win situation. If you just win the race, no matter the manufacturer, holy cow. I honestly believe Monza is a highly prestigious race. And it's awesome we still get to go there. Spa, same thing. Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium is just a landmark racetrack. It'll forever go down in history as a premier racetrack. It will always hold space in Motorsports Hall of Fame for tracks, if you will. It's just a track that every driver wants to win at. For my 9th race, I'll go back to oval track here with the World 600. Paramount. It is classic. It is a test of man and machine. 600 miles around Charlotte Motor Speedway. I mean, you're doing more of a race than the Daytona 500 at a track where you have to hit the brakes and have precision. I don't think you can. I honestly think that the World 600 is a more difficult race than Daytona 500, pretty close to the Southern 500, just because of the mileage and the precision it takes to keep that thing on track for that long. I did not come up with a 10th race because it's so hard for me to get the right tracks, the right races all in one. Jay brought up good points. Nürburgring, that is a iconic, will forever be in Motorsports Hall of Fame. Pikes Peak, what an amazing stretch of road. I mean, it's a road, that they go and race on. I mean, insane. And all the classes that they have going up there, all the different runnings that they have going up, all the different manufacturers. I mean, it's insane what they do at Pikes Peak. The Chili Bowl. I mean, you got to throw Dirt Oval in there. It is a hidden gem in the motorsports realm. It really is. I don't feel like a lot of people follow dirt racing except for southern or the southern atmosphere. So I kind of feel like that's a crime. I really do. The Southern 500. You can't not put that on your list. I mean, it's the Lady in Black. It's that one race every year that we go to that everybody just gets so freaking hype about, and it's such an amazing race every year. Every year. I'm gonna take my 10th slot and really dedicate it to all those tracks that we just talked about, because it's just not enough. It's not enough. And like I said in my preface that I said before I started going off, the order that you have may differ from mine, but it's still right.
Mm-hmm.
All of these tracks hold a massive part in motorsports history and making motorsports what it is today.
Yeah, I agree. And a lot of the ones that you put as well were some that I just had right there. I wanted to put them in. Like, 10 wasn't enough, right? Like,
it wasn't.
If there was a 20 list, I think I could have probably made a good 20 list. But
absolutely,
I wanted to do top 10 for sure. And I'm so glad that you brought up Spa, because Spa is just, I love Spa. I should have put it on there, honestly. I love Spa so much.
It's so hard.
There's just something about that track that's just, Spa.
Yeah.
It's Spa. Like, it's just.
I mean, all those memorable moments. Michael Schumacher, debut race with Benetton.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, absolutely slapped everybody upon the side of the face in qualifying. Unfortunately, blows a motor in the race, 2 laps in. I mean, honestly, I could literally say every year from 2009 till now, Formula One race, when Ferrari was on their dominant streak at Spa, when Williams was still winning championships, when we had the reverse down, the fan car, the fan at the back of the car pulling air underneath it, going through Eroge. I'm sorry, I always get it wrong, or Redallion, sorry, going up the S there on the front straightaway. I mean, there's just so many things revolved around Spa that you just top 10 list, where do you put it? Where do you put anything? Honestly.
Yeah, it's very difficult. We challenged ourselves for sure on this one this week.
Yeah.
And then also one more thing to add to that though is we put a mixture of all of the races on Memorial Day. I'm just saying this now. There is no better day as a racing fan than waking up the Sunday before Memorial Day. That is my Christmas, honestly.
Yeah.
I love it. I love waking up extremely early to catch Monaco, and then your whole day you set up around all of the events that happen during that day, and it's just you love the build up getting to that day, and then it happens, and then it's over, and then you're like, oh, I gotta wait another year. It's just another level that you can explain. And I think that it should honestly be a national or a worldwide holiday. They should call it Motorsports Day, and everything should be shut down. Everybody should be glued to their TVs watching the races. It's up there. Like, it should be like one of those events like soccer in Europe, where they all tune in to watch whatever Premier League, Champion, UEFA, whatever that is. But like the Super Bowl in America, like, it should be like that. Everybody just rallies around that day and just dedicated to racing. That's what it's about. It's great. Good food, good cold beer, and motorsports on my TV. Love it.
Yep.